Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a wise Zen master named Hoshi. People from far and wide sought his guidance and wisdom. Hoshi was known for his ability to calm troubled minds and help people find inner peace. One day, a young man named Kenji arrived at the Zen master's humble abode, seeking solace for his troubled mind. Kenji was overwhelmed by negative thoughts that seemed to consume his every waking moment. Doubts, fears, and insecurities haunted him relentlessly, leaving him restless and unhappy. Desperate for a way out of this mental turmoil, Kenji approached Zen master Hoshi with a plea for help. Hoshi welcomed Kenji into his serene garden, where the scent of blooming flowers filled the air. They sat down by a tranquil pond, its surface reflecting the gentle rays of the setting sun. Hoshi observed Kenji's restless demeanor and said, "Kenji, I sense your mind is burdened by a storm of negative thoughts. Allow me to share a story with you." Kenji nodded eagerly, his eyes filled with hope. Once, in a small village like ours, there lived a farmer. He had a magnificent horse that was the envy of all the neighboring farmers. One day, the horse broke free from its enclosure and ran away, leaving the farmer devastated. The villagers came to console him, saying, "What a terrible misfortune! You have lost your most prized possession." The farmer, however, remained calm and replied, "Who knows what is good and what is bad? This might be a blessing in disguise." A week later, the horse returned to the farmer's farm, but it didn't come alone. It brought with it a herd of wild horses. The villagers rejoiced at the farmer's good fortune. They said, "What incredible luck! You have gained so much more than you lost." Yet, the farmer stayed composed and said, "Who knows what is good and what is bad? This might bring unforeseen challenges." The following day, the farmer's son attempted to tame one of the wild horses. In the process, he was thrown off and broke his leg. The villagers rushed to the farmer's side, expressing their sympathy. "Oh, what a tragedy! Your son has been injured. This is surely a terrible turn of events." But the farmer remained unfazed and responded, "Who knows what is good and what is bad? This might lead us to unforeseen opportunities." A month later, a neighboring kingdom declared war and sent soldiers to recruit young men for the battle. All able-bodied young men from the village were forcefully taken away, except for the farmer's son, who was still nursing his broken leg. The villagers gathered around the farmer, tears streaming down their faces, and said, "How fortunate you are! Your son has been spared from the horrors of war." The farmer calmly replied, "Who knows what is good and what is bad? Life is a vast interconnected web of events, and it is not for us to label them as good or bad." Kenji, just like the farmer, our minds tend to label events as positive or negative, but in reality, they are just moments in the grand tapestry of life. Negative thoughts arise when we judge these moments too harshly. But if we learn to observe without judgment, we can find peace amidst the storms of our minds. Kenji sat in silence, absorbing the Zen master's words. As the sun dipped below the horizon, he felt a newfound sense of calmness wash over him. He realized that his negative thoughts were merely passing clouds, and his mind had the power to observe them without being consumed by them. With gratitude in his heart, Kenji bowed respectfully to Zen Master Hoshi and said, "Thank you, Master Hoshi. Your story has opened my eyes to a new perspective. I understand now that it is not the events themselves that determine their nature, but rather our interpretations and judgments. Zen Master Hoshi smiled warmly at Kenji and replied, "Indeed, Kenji. Our thoughts shape our reality, and by cultivating a mindful and non-judgmental awareness, we can transcend the negative patterns of our minds." Inspired by his newfound understanding, Kenji decided to stay with Zen Master Hoshi for a while, immersing himself in the teachings of Zen. Each day, he practiced meditation, focusing on observing his thoughts without attachment or aversion. With patience and perseverance, Kenji gradually developed the ability to let go of negative thoughts as they arose, allowing them to pass by like fleeting clouds in the sky. As time passed, Kenji's mind grew more serene and his heart more joyful. He no longer allowed negative thoughts to control him, but instead, he embraced each moment with acceptance and gratitude. Kenji became a source of inspiration for others who sought the Zen Master's guidance, sharing his own journey of overcoming negative thoughts.